Hey, stoned wrestling fans. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you why. First and foremost, it's free. Hey, more money for that overpriced dispensary weed. Also, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor's also going to distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that jazz. You can make money from your podcast as well with no minimum listenership. Yo, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. But maybe smoke first, because that's always good.
I'm going to say this real quick, though. WWE, y'all better be careful with these Black Helper segments y'all keep putting in your shows, okay?
Sommeliers are a highly respected profession.
I know they are. So are hitmen. And now we got this. We got the.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the 420 Wrestling Hour.
3 blunts, 3 mics.
That's right.
This time, not sounding like shit.
3 microphones, doing it the official way.
I couldn't even listen to last week's episode, man. Like, not that I listened to all the episodes, but I couldn't even because I sounded like so. My microphone broke literally minutes before we started recording. Like minutes.
It was very sad.
It was the saddest thing.
But we went on. We forged on, even with the injury, and we finished the match.
Like John Moxley crawling through broken glass to lose the title.
Meltzer gave it a quarter star, the episode, which was sad.
Quarter star. All right, fuck you, Metzler.
But it's another week here on the 420 Wrestling Hour, where we get high and we talk about the highs and the lows of the week that was in pro wrestling. At least the wrestling that's on TV. We can't cover it all. Talking about before the show,
you didn't catch that Zelo Pro show?
Was that?
Is that Low Pro show?
What about Booker T's Wrestling Academy on YouTube?
Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
I guess I'm gonna write that into my calendar real quick.
Hopefully Jade is there learning the ropes.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
So there's lots to talk about, obviously, in the week that was in pro wrestling. They're trying really hard to make us watch another show. And since that's what we were talking about right before we pushed record, and it's actually fucking 420 today, which I think is going to make this the best episode of the show ever. It's actually 420 as we record, which is great. And that reminds me, this is how we usually open the show. Before we get into the wrestling, let's talk about what we're smoking today and introduce ourselves, I guess. This is Over Easy, a.k.a. Tombstone Kyle Driver. With me, as always, we've got JB Bad and Arium. What's going on today, guys? And what are you smoking on?
Well, I'm smoking on that good banana OG in cartridge form. Yes.
Yo,
keeping it classic.
Finishing up this mild sauce. It is delectable.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the mild sauce. I gotta try that. We'll talk off air about where you get it.
Hell yeah.
I'm also cutting mine with a Ballast Point Brewing Company beer.
Oh, you're drinking tonight.
You're making me want to go grab a Sam Adams out the... You know what? Just you wait.
Just you wait.
Yes. Go get your beer, Canary. You've earned it. I don't have any beers in the house, I don't think. I really don't think I have a beer. I think I actually do have some sort of Christmas beer that I was saving for the holidays. Happy holidays, everybody.
Are you one of those guys who drink cider around the holidays?
I really don't drink. It's been several years since I even buy beer or anything. When I used to drink when I would go out, which was very rarely, but obviously that's not happening in the past 8-9 months. So I like bourbon. So we've always got a bottle of bourbon, and sometimes I'll make myself an old fashioned or sip on a bourbon at the end of the day. But it's the 420 Wrestling Hour. I'm a man of cannabis. I just don't like drinking that much. The older I get, it's not really my thing. But I enjoy beer every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a classy man.
But I'm smoking. I'm joining JB Bad in the cartridge life today since I started my new job in the cannabis industry. I'm learning about all these new tools and tricks. And I've smoked cartridges obviously before, but this one from PTS is a mixture of THC and CBD, and it's infused with spearmint, an uplifting spearmint. So it like helps my headache. It makes me energized. It's almost like it's medicine. It's weird.
So, it's almost like we should have always been able to smoke it.
Imagine
well,
that.
We know Rob Van Dam was always smoking it and getting kicked out of hotel rooms. That's why I knew that guy was cool, and I didn't know why as a kid. I was like, why do I like him so much? And it's because he's this fucking pothead like me.
Friend of the show.
Yeah. So you want to go through the week in order, or should we start with?
Let's start with what we were talking about right before we got on the show. We don't need an order here because we were talking about the impact that Impact Wrestling has had.
Congratulations, for this is the only time we will start the show with an Impact Wrestling.
Oh my god!
well, only one of us watched it, so
this is what's. Well, I don't know because listen, now that's not necessarily true. I watched the show.
Wait, what?
I was not planning at all on watching the show, but I was curious on the fallout with what happened.
It's a Christmas miracle.
If you believe.
I held back from singing because I already sang on this show, but I'm glad you hit that for me.
Let's start incorporating song more and more into the show. I think that's
I've sung at least 3 entrance songs, so let's just go for it.
Get used to it, listeners. But I went to check out what happened with Kenny Omega and Don Callis on the show because I was curious. I wanted to see how the execution was. Mm-hmm. And come to find out, they put the whole fucking episode on YouTube. So if they make it that easy for me, and I had nothing else going on that morning, I checked the show out.
Wait, day after or how long?
The day after on Wednesday, they had it out on YouTube with the full show.
And I don't know that that's something they do all the time. If they are, let us know.
It's not. It's not on there. I think you can stream it on Twitch, but on YouTube, I think that's the first time they put it out. Obviously, because this was a big episode for Impact, maybe their biggest episode ever.
And I, since I am a rich, luxurious 1%er flying above you all in a Bentley helicopter with Gucci flip-flops, I watched it on my cable package that I pay for with money like a fucking idiot.
Wait, what channel do they come on?
Access.
Oh,
that's what New Japan used to be on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Like at 1 a.m. or something.
Well,
yeah. So you watched
Impact
it.
happened. It was on Tuesday. I watched it. I watched most of the show because I had to go into work, so I was like fast forwarding a little bit. But if this was, at first I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt because they were trying hard, knowing that they probably had a lot of first time eyeballs on the product. So the announcers, Josh Matthews, and then the woman, I can't remember her name. They were working their hardest to catch us up on storylines and everything. So I really didn't feel like I didn't know what the hell was going on because they really did a great job of telling you, wrapping up all these storylines as they were going on,
putting over the entire product.
The problem is that even after they did that, I still was not interested at all. It's like there's so many people on the show like that I was interested in right away. I was like, oh fuck. I've heard people talk about the North as being a great tag team. I did not know that was Ethan Page and Josh. God, I can't think of his name now.
Alexander.
The Walking Weapon.
Alexander.
Yeah, Josh Alexander. I did not know that was the North because I don't watch Impact. And I'm like, Ethan Page is one of my favorite guys.
It's a shame you're catching him on a breakup story.
Exactly. But I was there for that first match, but I can't help but just feel it just felt the whole thing felt minor league.
Well, of course it felt minor league. They couldn't afford a crowd. It's Impact.
I know.
You're back in the old NXT dead silent talking your shit. It's Impact, baby.
Yeah, I just felt like I was watching some, I'd stumbled upon some stream of some indie show, which wasn't necessarily bad, but if you're trying to attract permanent new viewers to your product, the first episode did not do that for me at all.
They got some decent women over there, though. Yeah. They got a decent women's division.
I was
intrigued.
Better than AEW's.
Better than AEW.
Don't get me started.
What was her name? Rosemary?
Cook. Who I mistakenly may have confused Abaddon for.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing.
Well, that's why she's over there. Like that's.
Yeah. They got Deonna Purrazzo.
They do.
Got the Virtuoso over there, and they're putting in work.
Yeah, the women looked good. Nothing was bad in ring wise.
I really enjoyed the main event. I straight up enjoyed that. Like
Chris Bay, is that his name?
I used to watch him review belts on YouTube, and now he's fighting for the world title. That's fucking cool.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I didn't know this guy before, but this guy's insanely talented.
Come on, Rich Swann over there still doing work.
Rich Swann's great.
Mm-hmm.
That whole weird thing that happened with his T-shirt or whatever in WWE, was that him or was that
no, that's Miles.
Jordan Miles? What's he doing? ACH? Where's he at now?
You mean besides staring me down?
Besides intimidating the Canary in Chicago.
You should have asked him to smile.
He was in a New Japan match this weekend with my man Leo Rush. I think it was like New Japan, like pro. You know, like was it the junior
Super Juniors?
Middleweight?
Super Juniors. I gotta check that out. More wrestling to watch.
Yeah, right,
dude. So much. There's
but not to derail y'all over easy, but.
Go ahead.
For someone who didn't watch the show, do you think you weren't as interested in it as you wanted to be because you hadn't watched before? You know, kind of like when we started AEW this year, we were kind of like trying to get invested, but we really couldn't get there.
Listen, I think
something like that.
I think that if I gave it enough time and I was a dedicated viewer, that because I love pro wrestling, I would eventually become invested enough in the characters that I at least would want to skim through it on a weekly basis. The problem is that I do not have time. There's a finite amount of wrestling content that I can take in. Now if you start reading the news the next day and it's like, holy shit, this match on Impact was crazy, then yeah, I'll go try to find it and seek it out. But as far as adding it to my plate of content that I'm eating every week, it didn't taste good enough. It was a little too vanilla for me.
Well, as far as those matches,
what'd you say?
As far as those matches, they about to start having them.
What do you mean? Go ahead.
Because you got that. I want to. The story of the night was the world champion at AEW showing up.
Well, that's what there is to talk about, and that's the other thing that bummed me out about the whole show is that's why everybody's watching, and it I wasn't surprised, as I think I said last week, like they're going to make us watch this whole Impact show. They're going to tease it till the very end, and then we're going to get whatever it is at the very end. But then when we finally got there, and I've been talking a lot about this, so I'll let, I think, Ariam, you didn't watch the show, but you probably watched this segment.
I did watch the segment, yeah.
Where do you guys land on the payoff of this big fallout from Winter Warfare or whatever the fuck that thing was on AEW?
It was a heel promo.
I love it.
Yeah.
It was meant to piss you off that he did not spend enough time there or have a match or do something of worth, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm fucking out. See y'all. You're not worth my time." Yeah. And that moment was more heelish right then than I found him at the end of the Mox match. Like at the end, I was just like, "Oh, this is Kenny Omega doing a bad thing," but I'm like, nah, I'm not seeing that he's like a heel.
They still were cheering him.
Yes, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then when he was in there with Don Callis, and I think he had on the shades, and he looks like a different arrogant person. And so right now, to me, he's a heel.
And for me, and I think it's very telling that I'm wearing this robe. What you saw right there was the launch of the modern day Ric Flair.
Wow.
That's what we're going for. He's gonna fly in on a helicopter. He's gonna take your belt. You're gonna try to take his, but he's gonna shine up your champion. He's gonna put over a 5-star. He's gonna bless your company with a 5-star, 4.5-star classic, and then bounce. And that's gonna be the biggest thing that ever happened to you when the champ came to town.
That's dope. I like that. I like it a lot.
I think that may be the idea. But for me, there's no way.
But that's what we gonna get, baby. Like what?
Kenny Omega is not in the same stratosphere as he's not as cool on his best day as Ric Flair was on his worst day.
Well, hey, look, nostalgia is like a mouthful of marbles and cocaine. It makes you say dumb things. Like, like, look, baby.
I don't agree with it, but that was just such a funny saying.
That was a great saying. That was a great line.
Look, what else did Ric Flair do except put on the best matches in the world in a bunch of different territories? What else is Kenny Omega going to do but put on the best matches possible in a bunch of different territories?
Yeah, I'm not debating his in-ring work.
And
those promos were excellent.
And and the thing is, like, he is the millennial that guy. He's making his shot at that, of being the millennial version of that guy.
I hear that, but I think what Over Easy is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Over Easy, is that not only could Ric Flair work in the ring, he already had that persona.
He lived it.
You knew him as just a cool dude, and everything that came out of his mouth, you believed it. You believed he was doing it.
I mean,
and I mean, I'm into wrestling, but I don't think that about Kenny Omega when I hear him speak during that.
Kayfabe is dead now, but we can't. It's not possible to believe in things like that. But like, to the best of his possibility, he's matched his being the elite persona to his cleaner persona. He's made that feel like one consistent story and man throughout this. Like, all of his life is built into his character. Like,
that's fair. I will say kayfabe is dead to that extent, but I will say I have a certain amount of suspension of disbelief with better promos, and I did not get that from this one. And that's why you got
Don Callis. and Kenny was spitting them truths. He was like, "Look at the best matches all over AEW. Me versus Pac, me versus Moxley." He was spitting facts that whole time,
True,
but in such
no
a
lies.
dick ass way. Like, I'm the AAA champion. I'm gonna run down there and have a 5-star match over here. What haven't I done? Like, he is making his claim in a heelish way of being that motherfucking guy, which is what you would want out of. That's when Flick Flair came to your town. You wanted to see your guy beat him. You wanted to think your guy was better than him, and they got that shit. They've got that shit nailed.
Okay, I can hear that.
I'm willing to wait it out and see where it goes, but especially, and I don't mean to jump ahead, but the fact that he came on Dynamite the next night, and they cut the same fucking promo. It was the same. I didn't care for that. It was the same thing. I mean, better. And everything that they said on that bus promo, that they stretched out into a 15-minute long segment or whatever. I just feel like they could have done in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And maybe people would have been more pissed because that's the only time they got on Impact. But that would have been even more heelish, in my opinion. And I don't know. I love what you're saying about the Ric Flair comparisons, but
he did come in the helicopter like Ric
they're
Flair
trying it.
Did.
But Kenny Omega's style, his fashion, is not good. Ric Flair's was legendary.
Yeah,
in my opinion. And on the mic, Kenny is a good promo, but not the greatest of all time, like Ric Flair.
Fair enough.
It remains to be seen. Yeah. But I think I can hear your point.
But them matches, wait for them matches though. Them matches are unlike
for
other
sure.
things.
I won't argue with that for 1 second.
Like, that's where he's gonna lean in and make it his thing. Like, maybe I can't do the promos, but these matches are gonna be something. It's gonna be Flair Steamboat every fucking night.
I can't wait for that, and I hope it's true. And I did love the line he had but with Josh Matthews and Tough Enough and Dean Ambrose. That was
Ambrose, right? You call it Ambrose.
That was good. He's smooth. He's cool, but he's not
meta.
Ric Flair cool.
Yeah.
He's talking about comic books, guys. He's not that cool.
Okay? But that's his thing, though. That's his wheeling and dealing. That's his styling and profiling. Like,
You're right.
That's the way he does it.
You're right.
If he did it the other way, he would be aping Ric Flair. This is his version of it.
It's just it's this whole larger thing of, I think it's really smart what they're doing at the end of the day, because I want as many of these promotions as possible to live in the same universe, so that you can believe that these kind of dream match, screw job, invasion type storylines can happen at any time. Because with WWE, we really don't have that.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. But again, we've talked about this before on this show, ideas versus execution.
Right.
When they come out the next day and they want you to stay tuned, they want you to watch AEW the next night. Tony Khan and Shivani bought an ad on TNA, which I liked. That was funny. That was really nice touch. Like, I'm liking how they're doing this, but he comes out on Dynamite and gives the same promo with Don Callis.
And they let... We'll get to AEW in a second, but I have some problems.
Yeah, no, get into it, because there's not.
That's for Impact.
There's nothing else to talk about really on Impact. It was a fine wrestling show. Nothing to.
Kenny's gonna pick up that Impact belt though, and that's gonna be fucking cool sometime.
He's the collector.
He gonna clean up them belts.
That's interesting.
So for me, I wrote down, just going on that with Don Callis. I wrote down, Don Callis is an okay speaker. Yeah, and I was like, and I literally wrote that. I wrote that, and I was like, I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if that means I like it or I hate it. But he's an okay speaker. Like, I don't think there wasn't anything that was like mind blowing that time. And I was just like, First of all, if you're gonna do it, after you just did a segment yesterday on Impact, it needs to be something cool, like more. It has to be bigger.
You have to assume that we watched Impact. Right? If you want us to be along on this story, you have to assume that you baited us and we saw it. You can't. I mean, that's just me.
I didn't think half of us had watched Impact walking into this, and we on a text chain like.
Well, at the very least.
Well, I mean, you saw that on social media, though. Yeah. There was going to be a clip on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Wrestling fans were going to watch it. Yeah, Kenny Omega fans were going to watch it.
And for that was the helicopter. The moment for that was helicopter.
Okay.
It didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Just AEW's whole vibe. I mean, and we might as well start talking about it because I was getting into it for a few weeks, and then we had the whole Sting thing and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of back to feeling blah about it. It was hard for me to get through this AEW show, and I can't get over the WCW-ness.
I know that's a tough one for you. I think what's keeping me around right now is there are a couple characters that I've completely gravitated towards. I'm so obsessed with MJF. Like, oh yeah, just him on the. I want him and the Miz to have a conversation. I wish we talk about you like universes like colliding. That's something I would love to see. Just Miz in the ring, MJF at the top of the ramp, and them just going back and forth for probably 15 minutes. I would love it. It would be dope. So I've gravitated towards MJF. I've gravitated towards Orange Cassidy and JB. You know what, man? Damn it. The tag team wrestling, man.
Just rub my nipples again. I'm rubbing them.
The tag team wrestling is outstanding. Yeah.
It's good.
It's crazy.
That first match was really good.
That
really
first match
good.
with Bucks and TH2, man, come on.
So
TH2
good.
is dope.
They are dope.
I was like, they could win this match. And that's the coolest thing about the Young Bucks is like, I think they're at that place, JB, that you talk about where they can take a win, they can take a loss. Like, it's not really going to hurt them.
They know how, when to do business too.
Exactly. And so when I was watching that, I was like, man, TH2 could win this match, and I would be so fucking excited about it.
And it was that was I wanted to, for me on the general vibe, like this was definitely like a chiller week. Like we just crescendoed to something big, and I think we're cooling this week.
I get it.
But what a quick falling action, you know?
You think there's going to be a fallout? You know, Sting fucking comes back, and they're like, "We're going to find out why this mysterious character came back." And the whole thing, when I tuned in to figure out why this legend came back, I don't know. It seemed like it almost. I don't know if it makes sense to you guys, but when I was a kid and I would watch basketball, it wouldn't seem like as big of a deal if it was an afternoon game. It's like the nighttime is or like when WrestleMania is outside and before it gets dark, it's like this just seems kind of like an afternoon game or something.
I wanted Sting coming to be promotion shattering.
Yeah.
And it seemed like this episode, Sting returning was like just another day at the office.
He was a human.
He was a human being, and for some reason Tony Schiavone for some reason they put over Tony Schiavone saying it's Sting, like it was good.
I knew I could hear. That's when Over Easy lost this episode.
I lost it.
That was it. I have it in my notes here. There's no coming back for Over Easy after this moment in this show.
You nailed it. That's when I was done.
I was thinking about y'all when we were watching. I was like, when
Tony Schiavone was
3 fans that didn't like it. Were we the only 3?
I mean, I don't know about you guys. JB likes it, right?
Oh, sorry. You liked the crack?
I'm not as offended. I missed it because I was busy screaming at myself. Like,
that's right. You did say that. You did say that.
I didn't take it in. I was marking out.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say one thing about that promo that I did really enjoy was when Sting was talking to Cody Rhodes, and he said "See you around, kid" at the ending. Like,
yeah, that was good.
It's exciting. I think one thing that I can take from it that is exciting is that him and Darby. I don't know what's gonna happen there. It's not really clear if he wants to fight Darby, if he wants to mentor Darby. Like, I want to see what him and Darby Allin's relationship is going to be. Also, like seeing Darby just like sitting up there by himself, like him being that weird like Sting, like it's kind of like Sting looking up at himself a little bit, which
something very familiar.
yeah. So why are you up there? I'm normally up there. I ain't got my eye on you. You know, that was fun.
I like what AEW does. It's it's a slow boil for me. It builds intrigue. You know, I kind of watch it like a slice of life, or kind of like a baseball game. Like when I watch a baseball game, and maybe it's unfair of WWE to be in this. Like when I watch WWE, I expect something to happen. I just show me something and you reward my 2 hours of investment. Make something happen. AEW, I just kind of want to see what happens with them each week. I want to see as they develop. I want to see where this is going. I just want to hang out with my guys for 2 hours a week. And maybe it's because I only see them, them for 2 hours a week. I just kind of want to see them. And I don't really expect them to do something crazy every week, but they still kind of do, you know?
The baseball thing is such a great way to put AEW because I am a huge baseball fan, but I love the game. It's probably my favorite sport. But I am, as you know, a diehard St. Louis Cardinals fan. I could watch 162 Cardinals games. They could all go into extra innings and play 15. I could watch every inning and love every minute of it. But if there's two teams that I don't care about, it's almost agonizing for me to watch sometimes because I'm not invested. And with AEW, it's like, yeah, the wrestling is really good, the tag team wrestling especially, but I'm not invested enough in the characters to watch this baseball game every week, and all 9 innings of it.
And weirdly, and this is a hard way to say this, like, 'cause it makes it sound like I'm admonishing you in some way. That is a you issue. Like, they are doing the thing. They're making
I agree.
Like, one can invest in it because they're giving it to you to invest in. So just let yourself invest.
I have to have a more open mind, but it's hard because we especially as adults, we watch wrestling through nostalgia goggles.
Right.
And it's hard for me to get over the WCW shit. I should get over it because I enjoy so much of the in-ring action and a lot of the storylines, especially the inner circle stuff, I really like and gravitate towards. But when you got Tony Schiavone, and maybe I just don't like Tony Schiavone. I don't know what it is. But what the fuck is this guy wearing?
He is the topic of your convection a great deal of time during.
What is he wearing? Like, how does
was
he
it
get?
A sweater vest?
How is he on TV wearing some fucking like Skechers or whatever? He's got shitty jeans. You're interviewing Shaquille O'Neal, and then you come in the ring wearing the same thing. He looks ridiculous. He looks like your neighbor's mowing the lawn or something. It makes me feel like I'm watching a show that I have to tune in, and JR's kind of not excited about anything, blah, blah, blah. And at one point during AEW, it's when Miro was destroying everybody, and I was like, finally, Miro is looking like a big fucking deal in AEW. I'm into this. And Tony Schiavone says something like, well, it's Christmas time, and these guys have families. And he's totally referencing JR's line from like the Attitude Era or whatever, who said that, in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way, and it just like pulled the whole rug out from underneath me, and it made me remember like, oh, this is fake, it's wrestling, they're joking about shit from the nostalgia era. It just makes me think that it's not as a big of a deal for them. But maybe I'm just I got to get past my own shit.
Maybe you might have to, because I do want to hit some highlights of this one. I was watching the Abaddon and Tesha Price match, and as soon as Abaddon had an entrance, and they had right after like showed Tesha, like, you know when like someone enters and then someone's like standing off to the side, but you don't know that they're standing off to the side, and then once that person gets into the ring, they have that person get in the ring, and then they just show their name really quickly. They did that on this match, and I was like, oh, she's about to lose. I was like, oh, she's definitely about to lose. That she didn't get an entrance. She barely got her name on the screen. I didn't know who she was. But I liked that match. It was fun. I think Abaddon got like attacked with a kendo stick at one point, and I was like, damn, I want her to like sit up. And then she fucking did, and I was like, yes, I'm into this. Like, there's something to that character that's fun.
That's the most I'd ever really enjoyed Cheetah in that moment. Her deciding to face her fears. Like, I'm fucking terrified, but I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to grab on to kendo, and we're going to get this bitch out of here.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And it was cool to see Hikaru like play that like locker room protector.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that.
I think these things just need time to mean something to us.
Yeah. Well, they got to get the talent too, though.
Yeah, but like, and that is the thing. Like, I was gonna say,
we talked about that.
You can't make what can't be made. Like,
that's true. That's true.
You can't just put someone out there who can't wrestle and expect us to love them because they're out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
As much as they'll try sometimes.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, we got a new one Undertaker dies, and maybe a new one has been born.
What else do we have on that show?
That Inner Circle promo was pretty fun.
You gonna shine up Sammy for that baby face run.
Yeah. I liked seeing Sammy Guevara get in Jericho's face for a second. I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, I would love to see that too. Like, that'll be fun. And then Hager and Wardlow were fucking fun. Like, they were hilarious this time.
Why you staring at me? Why you staring at me?
I love it.
Let's both agree to stop staring.
You want to talk about two big guys that like just they take that in like the entire way. They're just two big shows just talking to each other. Man, I freaking love it.
I just love how like every promo pic that they take of the Inner Circle, everyone else is looking at the camera, but they're always staring at each other.
Yes,
it's just like always keeping that in the back of your head. Like, these motherfuckers are gonna go at it eventually.
And that's the cool thing about AEW. Yeah, that's good too. That's the cool thing about AEW is like they're not pushing that match right now, but they're pushing that match right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like they're like subtly hinting at something we know we're gonna see, and they're building my excitement for it. Not even just like teasing it. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see these two go at it. It's funny already, and I know that it could be like brutal as well.
Let that simmer, baby. They got so many things simmering on the pot. Like WWE's a microwave, and like AEW's an old black kitchen. Shit's just simmering. Crock pot. You go get them pig's feet out the back, and you soak those for about 2 weeks, and then they gonna be ready for full gear in 2021. they getting it in.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of,
that's so good.
This is a real quick non sequitur. Did you guys watch that Keith Lee documentary yet?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, there's like a really cool thing about his relationship with his grandma and his grandma watching wrestling, and that reminded me of you, JB Bad. So I think you might really enjoy that.
I'm gonna watch it and then cry like a little punk.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Granny, I love you.
This is beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful stuff.
If you can't be emotional over your granny, what the point is a granny for?
Real talk.
Yeah, we wish him the best, Keith Lee. He's going through some stuff right now.
Yeah, he got sent down to the PC because
he's got some work to do.
Because Keith Lee was told by Vincent K. McMahon that he doesn't know how to work a match. Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, I'm not. I warned y'all last week on my bad microphone that Keith Lee's fucking it up. So like, I tried to warn you. So
yeah, just by being, he's the definition of overqualified.
Ain't he though?
He's overqualified for the WWE. So where they're like, you can't work here like this. You got one too many degrees. Vince
McMahon told him he can't bear his titties. Like, free the titties, man. Like, so much. Like, leave him be.
They're meddling again.
Let that black boy fly.
So you brought that up, Ariam. That was a popular news item in the wrestling world lately. Mm-hmm. Is that he sent down? Well, no, he didn't send him down permanently. I think he's still on Raw or SmackDown or whatever. But they got to go back to the PC for more training, in-ring training. And the list of these guys was all big dudes. It was
Otis.
Keith. It was Otis. It was his name?
Dio Madden.
Daba Kato. Dio Madden.
And Omos.
Yeah, so especially with Keith Lee, it seems like a style thing. Obviously, you're not working that more powerful, slow, big man style that WWE makes big men work. So you got to go learn our way because your way is not our way.
Damn, Gina.
And when they do that, they're going to squash everything that made him unique.
Yeah,
just iron it out flat, slow him down.
At least the man's getting paid.
Hey, man.
But let's clean up a little AEW before we move on to WWE because they got a lot of content. They're working with Shaq now, so cool. We gotta pay, you gotta pay the bills.
Listen.
What is that?
TNT AEW gotta pay bills to TNT too. So sometimes you work with Shaq.
I kind of appreciate what they did. I mean, Shaq, I thought performed really well. Like as an actor, like his line delivery, it was pretty believable.
And Shaq, he's done this before. He's like 4 WrestleMania matches and never followed through. So maybe he'll do this. Maybe it'll go better than the long forsaken Tyson angle that worked out pretty well for Tyson. Ended with him getting that actual fight, but hey, good on him. Pay your bills.
I was like, man, are we gonna see him in the ring again? I wouldn't love it. I wouldn't hate it.
I like him. I like him more as a manager for Jade.
As long as she never speaks.
That's what I'm saying. Because Shaq's got a nice little understated delivery there. I'm here for it.
I don't know if I want Shaq as a speaker either.
I do. I kind of like how it's
worse than some.
It's one note. It's monotone. It's kind of giving me ASMR vibes. Shaq. It's like I'm just kind of trying to talk like this over and over again at one note. And then the way he sold that water, I was here.
He sold it like it was like either the coldest or hottest thing that's ever happened to him.
He did. And I was like, okay.
But I felt bad for him. She went 0 to 100 on him. Like, why you gonna it's a guest, man? You can't do Shaq like that.
I know.
Also, every time Brandy speaks, I hate it. I hate it, man. I hate it.
But she's trying something new, and I don't know.
Every week she's trying something new.
That's it. Like, who are you?
I thought she was the Nightmare Princess, and now she's like, Jenny from the Block.
Yes. Oh my god.
I'll never forget.
Yes.
So I guess Penta's they're writing Penta off TV for a little bit, for him to get right.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
That's too bad. I like what they did. Only thing I can say about this match, it was fun. I like that what they did with Lance Archer, as opposed to things they do like that with Braun Strowman, where he just destroys the entire tag team division. Like, the Butcher and the Blade win the match. Archer beats him up afterward to get his heat. The wins matter, so Butcher and the Blade get to move on towards the title, and Archer looks pretty dangerous. So, as you counter program that with Braun Strowman, who wins the tag team titles with the 9-year-old to look strong. Like, so that's.
How is
There's so many
nowadays?
Ways worse that this could go. So, and true. I really did enjoy. It was a little bit of a repeat, but I still enjoyed Kenny Omega's whole presence on the show. Like the overblownness of the entrance. Don Callis looking at him and saying, "Kenny, by God, Omega!" Like that was beautiful for me. And. Yeah, man. I think they got a lot of cool stuff that they can do with. And then they hit us with that main event. What y'all think about that?
What'd you think, Canary?
I liked it. Man. Like I said, I'm invested in both of those. They had a bat spot, I think. I can't remember. It's in my notes, but they did. MJF had an Orange Cassidy had a bat spot.
Oh,
a
baseball
bat spot.
Yeah. That was.
And
fun.
I was like, man, that was sick. Yeah. I don't think I'd ever seen anything like that.
The double fake to the fake to the fake.
Yes.
It
was so cool. It's just
in my pocket. Well, I'm gonna hit you then. I'm gonna go down.
Yes. Exactly. Oh yes, it was the finish.
Yeah.
It wasn't the finish.
It was close to it.
That was really cool because I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be such a cool finish, and then they didn't, and I was like, oh shit, what's happening now? Like, where are we going after this? It was a roller coaster.
Yeah. If you like the Orange Cassidy gimmick, if you don't like it, the mileage is going to vary on that. But when they really put together some witty stuff with him, man, does it sing.
It hits.
So,
and I'm always very high on...
Miro killed a guy. Miro's a murderer. Yeah. Miro punted a guy face first off the ramp.
They didn't even bother following him with the camera. They were like, he's dead. He's gone.
Oh my god.
These men have families. But I loved Miro's whole the way that they presented him on that show. Just made him seem like a main eventer for the first time in my eyes in AEW, and that sweater and everything. My God, he's just a hateable guy, and I am very high on. Anytime MJF, mean mugs for the camera about his clean victory after it was anything but, that's always great.
I enjoy it. I feel like AEW's not in a rush to go anywhere. I do think the falling action after a big playoff was a little quick, but hey, we're simmering again.
Yeah,
we're simmering.
You know what? It makes sense now. I mean, it was intentional. Now that I'm thinking about it, they definitely wanted to simmer the story out.
I get
They
it.
didn't want to grow it because they even made Sting, I think, the second segment, and I was confused when he came on my screen. I was like, what? I would have thought he was going to be like around 8:50, 8:45. You know, like they obviously were like, hey, he's going to be here, he's going to be important, but like he's not main event.
And in a way, I like that. I mean, don't make him the like, because that's the argument of that's what WWE would do. Mm-hmm. They would make it all about Sting. They'd probably make him go and win the championship. But AEW's saying, he's here to help put over other people.
Goldberg.
Exactly.
That's exactly how WWE would have handled that shit.
WrestleMania. Right. Get ready. Spear versus spear. WrestleMania. Get ready. But we all know that the one who's going to take the belt off the head of the table is going to be Goldberg. Who else?
He's the God killer, man.
Exactly.
Who else could?
Anyway, I vow to keep watching AEW. I need to be more open-minded. I need to get over my gripes about Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. But it's a big part of my issue about the presentation of the show. I wish that they just had some new announcers. But I understand also that's why a lot of people love it. And just because I'm not a WCW guy, but it's cool.
Over easy. I was actually thinking that same thing. So that's so funny that you brought that up. But I was like, who are probably my favorite like ring announcers ring commentators like of wrestling history for me? JR is probably one. And honestly, Tony's probably two. So it's like, if they're still alive, even if they're not giving me probably the best product, I'm going to enjoy it right now. I'm like, I don't, like, I was thinking, like, JR's kind of a shell of himself. But is he really? He's not that bad.
Is he worse than, like, the horrible. King was in the late years of his run?
True.
It's exactly. So hard with the nostalgia goggles, but yes.
But he's not that bad.
I want to say that against the Don on the Don Callis thing with stuff like that. Like, when we do these promos and we say Don Callis is not a good speaker, like, make sure we're not comparing every promo he does to the greatest Ric Flair promos that we can remember. Like, Ric Flair had to talk every week. He spoke every freaking week. They weren't all gold. Like sometimes
a lot of repetition too.
Sometimes he probably repeated himself, probably did the same bit. That's why they became legendary, because he did them over and over and over again. Like elbowing his coat.
That's a good point too.
Like, like I know we've crystallized these things in their best version, but like sometimes it's just a mid pay-per-view build. Hey Rick, go out there and talk about your shoes for 20 minutes and say you're gonna bang somebody's wife. Space Mountain.
True.
Woo! Space Mountain. Woo! And that's 10 minutes.
I'll drink to that.
Oh my gosh. Excellent. Fucking excellent. Shall we move over to the Raw?
Keep it raw.
Brand?
Let's keep it raw.
Yeah. Let's Monday Night Raw. So your big storylines there. What are you guys thinking about Randy and the Fiend?
I like Randy's opening promo. Mm-hmm. I like how he said, when my time comes and you gonna talk to the devil line. I'm like, fucking Randy. Fucking hell, Randy, you can be good when you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. I'm enjoying his work so far.
I thought I'm just going to skip to the end since we're talking about it, because they did, they've been doing all these bookends recently, a lot of bookends. Same thing on SmackDown with Roman. He'll start the show and he'll end the show. And so they had that no contest finish at the end. And then Bray had that quick switch.
Yeah.
But it wasn't obviously they probably filmed that in the Thunderdome and then just like, because it was like seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah. Hey,
there's no way he made. Huh?
It was looking kind of bulky there, during the match. So maybe.
It's a possibility.
With mask on too. It was like 3 seconds. If he did, man, he should be
on Broadway.
He should be on Broadway. No he should be on Broadway.
Wear your mask so there can be Broadway again.
Yeah,
please, God.
So I thought that was cool. Besides that, I don't hate. It's not even like I don't hate it. I'm not obsessed with this rivalry right now. I want to be, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just not SmackDown right now.
It's probably the thing I like the most about Raw. But you're right, Raw's not SmackDown.
Raw's not SmackDown right now, which is crazy because it's always been like Raw is that show.
Not anymore.
I mean,
It's not anymore.
And for one reason.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
2 hours versus 3 hours, in my opinion.
Yeah, like that's what I was gonna say.
So you're saying they have a harder time with telling a story in 3 hours?
Yes, you can't expect a team of writers to give us Lord of the Rings length entertainment on a weekly basis, on top of all the other shows that they have to write and produce content for. It's just it makes it so stale and repetitive, and DQ finish after DQ finish after DQ finish. It's like, I don't know, Raw needs to be like Raw needs to be 2 hours right away, but it won't happen because of advertisers and shit like that.
Like, I'm enjoying the old Raws that are like an hour.
Yes,
like it feels,
when you watch them on the network with no commercials, it's like it's a breezy hour.
It feels good, but yeah, like I watched King of the Ring yesterday, and it was shorter than watching Raw. A whole
Crazy.
94
Damn.
King of the Ring. I'm like, that is such a.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first WrestleMania was shorter than Raw.
I was gonna say, I was gonna just piggyback off on that. Raw ain't been to place since they went up to 3 hours.
Yep.
Like it's just been overstuffed and over ballooned, and I don't see a way that they could go back without admitting some kind of defeat.
Yeah.
That's really good.
There's a dude who makes some YouTube videos on this YouTube channel called Parts Fun Known. It's pretty good content. You guys should check it out. But this dude will basically fantasy books things, and he has a bunch of them. Like, I think his name's Adam, and it's like if he would book him this way. But he did a whole video booking pretty much the immediate aftermath of Vince McMahon either dying or retiring from wrestling or whatever, and how he thinks that should be booked. And that was literally the first thing. Like, Raw is 2 hours right away. That can save so much if you just make Raw 2 hours, and I agree.
Shout out to Adam Pacino. Is that his name?
Blampede?
Adam Blampede.
Yeah.
Plumpy, as he's been called.
Yeah, I know he got in some trouble for using his power in the wrestling internet world to
pressure women into sending him nudes.
Yeah, so I feel maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, let's not talk about him.
He's come around on that one.
I guess he's back on the internet and making videos.
He sat down for 5 freaking years on that one. He made all the apologies that he's capable of making.
I guess that's true. I don't know the whole story. I was never into it. But
don't do that.
I have
shit.
Watched. Don't do that.
If you're listening, don't do what he did. Ever.
That YouTube channel has some pretty good content on it. So, and that was one of the points that he made, which I agreed with.
He's the one that got me into what culture. Like him.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought when I originally knew who he was, but then they kind of like had a falling out, and What Culture still exists, but then they went ahead and made a new channel, and then Adam made a new, so now there's 3.
They started Cultaholic. Left World Culture, started Cultaholic, and before they could get started, his bullshit came out. They had to...
That's right. That's right.
But everyone's going well.
Now we're talking about wrestlers, and people who talk about wrestling.
The world is expanding.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, what were we talking about? Raw. Yeah, the long Raw. 3 hours long.
Are they making fun of Riddle with bro nuts?
Yes.
What are they doing?
Yes, they are. He's back on his heel shit again. Here we go, baby.
I don't think so. I think Vince McMahon, I think this is right up. I think Vince McMahon thinks he's hilarious.
Yeah, he does.
This is Vince McMahon's type of sense of humor. Fart jokes and stupid humor. Bro nut, this is great shit. He thinks that people love it, I bet.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Right.
And I kind of do.
Wait, really?
Dude, that thing, the shit with Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy not wanting to be cool, and he's like, yeah, I kind of like that, man, but I gotta go. I thought I thought it was great. You know, I'm in the minority on people hating with Matt Riddle. I love it. I think it's really funny.
I love Matt Riddle, but I don't know that. Maybe that is who he is. I don't know, man.
Kinda.
I don't know.
Bro nuts, though. I don't know. I just think Matt Riddle would be more clever than that.
Is he? He does have the Broton bomb and the floating bro.
In a perfect world, he'd be a killer, and you know, you'd respect him more for his legit fighting chops and not the stoner persona, and that wouldn't be his whole identity. But this is WWE. This is Monday Night Raw. I think it's about what I expected.
Damn it. Well, I guess it's not what I want. It is what I. It's not even what I expect. It's not what I want.
Yeah.
But
There's
what
nothing,
I got.
There's nothing really else happening on this show. I mean, here's the thing about Raw, which I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, I don't completely agree with that, but
well, it depends on because there's a lot of moving parts, but a lot of layers. But I'm not sure if all of the layers make an appetizing piece of layer cake. I don't know what the fuck metaphor I'm trying to do right now. But you have the champion. What'd you say?
What are you smoking again?
This is an uplifting spearmint, but maybe it's getting to my fucking head. Maybe it's more like maybe it's cocaine. Maybe
the national, the American, the NXT national.
Listen, Drew McIntyre's the champion. He's about to wrestle AJ Styles, so that's the main feud going on leading up to TLC. Mm-hmm. You also have Miz and by association Morrison with the Money in the Bank meddling around, but at the same time, Drew McIntyre has this are they friends, will they, won't they, turn on each other thing with Sheamus. Mm-hmm. But what is this adding up to anything?
I think so.
It just seems like it's all distracting from each other, and I don't know what to care about.
You got a lot of matches that can come out of that.
Maybe.
I mean, I think this is all it's gonna be. This is all the moving pieces of the plot that either takes the belt off of Drew for his next big program, or it's the thing that he foils, making him look all the more powerful.
Interesting. I don't know.
Like it's very easy to see like a dope ass AJ match, because that's what AJ does. A Sheamus betrayal and a Miz cash in, and they put all the pieces in place to do all of those things.
Man, you're kind of selling me on it.
And
but that would require them following through on all of these things.
But they also don't have to. Like, you know, they've teased it so heavy. They could easily swerve us by going another direction, like they did with the fight they had. Like, they teased the betrayal, and then they're like, "No, we don't betray us. We don't betray each other over shit like this. We just fight it out and go have a pint." Like,
which was fun.
Which is fucking cool.
I like that.
He better get suspended for that, right? They both they put an official through a table.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They suspended Braun Strowman for headbutting the bald dude, the official guy, and Adam Pearce. He's trying so hard to make that his catchphrase, and that's official. He's done it like 6 times. It's not catching on, Adam.
It's not,
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
It's like Calf
It's
Man.
not going to happen. You're not getting Calf Man. You are that's caught. You're getting a T-shirt for that.
Ratings ruler, Calf Man.
But Drew should also get suspended for throwing that MITB briefcase, the Money in the Bank briefcase, into the fucking screen.
He's dropping the belt because of this. That's why it's happening.
Did you see that? I was like, Vince is about to kill you, bro. You didn't have to throw it that hard. Everyone knows you didn't have to throw it that hard.
Was unnecessary.
Yeah, he's done.
Vince was probably like, throw it to, just like the top of the ramp. That motherfucker launched it.
Yeet. Yeet or get yeeted.
Enjoy that fine, motherfucker.
No,
and the title loss.
Yeah, you dropping the belt next at TLC to
I hate that.
to LJ Styles and the Godwin brothers.
Yo,
can you imagine he gives it up on fucking TLC?
Yeah, you about to lose your smile.
You about to lose your smile.
Hey,
hey, you know what I was most high on during Raw? That
Lashley?
No, Lana. Getting when they were through with what was the line?
Boobs on your back.
Jack said, when we're through with her, her boobs are going to be on her back.
Her back's going to look like her front, and her front's going to look like her back. I wrote that shit. I was like,
her boobs are on her back.
What the fuck is this?
I want every writer fired in WWE.
Oh no,
fired.
I loved it. You didn't like that line?
That's a
line that
you liked it.
Look, maybe
it's so stupid. I loved it.
I couldn't. I could not. I couldn't.
Maybe I'm just.
It was that line mixed with Shayna not wanting to say it.
Shayna has been so bungled. It's so sad. Remember when she was such a badass?
Remember when she was a vampire? God.
Hell yeah.
She was a vampire. She was a fucking flesh eater.
Just ate Becky Lynch's neck.
Yes. What is she doing now? Yeah,
she's talking about putting boobs on people's backs.
That's the thing. I'm just so used to this being the MO of Raw, of WWE TV, that I don't take it seriously. I think a boob on backline is funny now. what's happening.
But it was a good. The first half of the match was good. You know, like Asuka really made her look real good for that first half, and then they had to do a lot of BS for the win. But like,
I just don't. I was like, this is cool because I want to see these two wrestle. And I don't have to see. I don't want to see Nia in the ring, and I don't want to see Lana in the ring. So this is if there's a combination, this is what it needs to be. But for Asuka or for Lana, I was like, why do they have similar color gear? Like, is this ending at a tag team title race? Like, I really don't want to see that.
I mean,
Asuka deserves more.
It's as good as anything.
They're
She's done it before. The belts could use the push, and it's whatever.
That's not. Is that a push though?
No, the belts could use it.
I know, but is that a push for the belts?
To be on Asuka, little brother.
But to also be on Lana.
Asuka carried you out to the ring. That's a push for you. It's Asuka, all right?
Absolutely.
So I don't care what.
This is really what you said last week too, Ariel. She's getting that Asuka shine, that Asuka rub.
Yeah.
I guess I went back on it this week.
The Asuka rub ain't that powerful.
I'm soured on it. I just hate when Asuka has the Raw Women's Championship and they do absolutely nothing with her for that belt. Mm-hmm. Like, why is she working towards something else right now? Why is she helping Lana? She's the fucking Raw Women's Champion. Why is she not kicking ass and calling shots like Becky Lynch did when she had the fucking belt?
Like Io Shirai doing
because they didn't want to put it on her. They just know they can.
There's no.
And as an Asuka fan, I am pissed.
There's no dedication to sticking with the consistencies of the characters that they themselves built and booked into things.
But they're committed to Asuka though.
They are committed to her, but
I just want challengers.
Yeah, man.
But they're committed to putting her on TV in whatever fashion they can come up with, but they ain't got no challengers for her.
Meanwhile, just like the whole NXT women's division is so good. Like, it's overwrought with talent. Maybe there needs to be some balancing out here. But
you bring them up, they're gonna take them back to Matt Riddle style, reestablishing them.
You're right.
Right.
Build them up.
Ember was there.
Ember was right fucking there. Well, she was injured, so God bless her.
If they could do an effective call up and treat it like, holy shit, this is someone from the developmental system that, just like a minor leaguer who comes up and is like, oh, God, they turn into a phenom. They just don't know how to do that.
Truthfully, what it needs to be is somebody needs to come and squash Asuka.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That would be serious business.
And it should be Rhea Ripley.
You know what I mean?
That'll get Rhea back.
What? Just squash her flat.
Yep.
Tommaso Karrion Cross style. Hi, I'm
that's a
first
great
match.
idea.
This is mine. Everything's mine. Fuck everything.
Wow.
I will say,
new era.
I will say, Lana had an excellent Hurricane Rana on Nia Jax.
That Lana Hurricane Rana was fun.
Lana Rana.
It was really good, and I was very excited to see it.
Popped.
So you know what, Lana? Maybe I'm high on you again.
Stop it.
I smoked a little more.
You calm it down.
Let's try it. We'll see.
What's going on with this? What they're doing with the New Day and Hurt Business? We did the same thing twice in a row, where like one dude can't get it done, and then Cedric comes in and cleans up and wins twice in a row. So and now it's going to lead to.
I don't think we ever done it like this though, where it was like two matches where somebody challenged the next person. We didn't do that last week.
I think they did. I think he lost.
Different.
It was slightly because this was like two separate matches.
That's what the story.
Yes.
This was the cool part was that it was like it put over Kofi because Kofi got a win, like a singles win, but then it also put over Cedric, and I was like, this segment didn't like push anything along as far as the feud is going, but it did kind of just like show both of these or all three of these guys off in a way.
I wish they would have. I mean, maybe if each of Cedric and Shelton would have gotten a win, but now Shelton looks like a big goober because he's lost twice. But he's still going to get a tag team championship shot probably in this storyline. But really, it should be Cedric who's getting some sort of opportunity because he's the one who's cleaning up. But it's on people who've already wrestled a match, so it's not that fair. I don't know.
Right.
It's hard to figure out who to root for.
Exactly.
Yeah. And maybe that's the point, but it is like New Day are being kind of dicks and being a very overconfident. Like maybe that's the story they're trying to tell. The New Day's overconfidence losing their belts.
Interesting.
And that's the most consistent story that's being told, but it's still over the place.
And her business has always kind of straddled the line. Mm-hmm. So, Yeah, and the in-ring action, I'm not mad about it at all.
Nah.
I really liked it all. So yeah, that's what else was on Raw? Nothing really.
You know what? I have to talk about it, and this may be my last week of ever saying anything because I'm just so pissed off. Retribution, bro.
Uh-oh.
You know why this Ali thing isn't working for me?
Uh-oh.
Because it's like it's taking the disappointment that works for Roman. Like every time he gets into a promo, he's like yelling at them like, I need winners, you know? Like I need everyone, like you guys aren't trying enough. Like what is this? And like Roman's, doing that subtly on SmackDown so fucking excellently. But right now it's not working because Ali's not a fucking winner. Like where the fuck does he get off telling someone that they can't lose? Like that's all he's been doing for the last year. Like it makes no sense. What are they doing with it? Just take Mia back down to fucking NXT.
That was in my notes. I'm like, can she go back to NXT now, please?
Can she go back to NXT? That shit is hot. Like there are so many matches she could get in that, like, in that eight women.
Yeah. Yes.
Try whatever right now. Like it's freaking awesome. So I don't understand what they're trying to do with Ali and Retribution.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Dijak too. That guy's a talent who they could be doing something with. And Retribution is nothing anymore.
I don't feel so bad for Shane Thorne, but it's okay.
Shane Thorne too.
Not as bad as I should.
Dude, I used to love TM61. I'm not kidding. I did.
I actually wanted them. I wish they would have done something with them. They were talented.
Yeah, I liked them for some reason. They reminded me of like
I treat them like you treat FTR.
How I used to treat FTR.
Okay. I can't.
I just gave a compliment to AEW's tag team division tonight. So. What more do you want from me?
I got good. My nipples are satisfied. You want to move to SmackDown?
Let's move to the down.
Let's move to SmackDown.
Were you guys high on SmackDown?
I was high on Sasha and that purple ensemble.
Okay, I was hoping we would get right to
what time of year is it?
Holy shit.
I was like, is it winter wherever she is?
It doesn't matter.
Stop it. It's Florida.
I was like, oh my gosh. It's Florida, so it doesn't matter. But I was like, that was the smallest outfit I've ever seen her wear.
Wow. Thank you, Sasha, for that. All I can say is thank you. Thank you for that.
Much.
And
I think her tailor is her husband. So like,
hey, you did it. Don't be mad that we looked.
Not our fault.
Real talk.
Oh man, that was hot.
So,
but yeah,
Carmella
looked better too.
Yeah, you know what?
She took a few shades off the tan or something.
I was like, you know what? She is no fucking slouch in the ring. Carmella can wrestle. Like as far as like when I look at the AEW women's division and I see how like hard it is for some women wrestlers to tell a story. I see Oreezy's holding up the Carmella hat right now.
FABULOUS.
Yes.
But now she got that new theme song.
Wait.
Yeah, which I don't know how I felt about that entrance.
That is a lot.
I don't know how it seemed like
it was awkward.
It seemed like they had so many ideas. They had like an idea about what they wanted the music to sound like, and they had an idea about that like
the curtain
silhouette
with the
thing,
silhouette.
A lot of
curtain.
gimmicks at once.
It was too much, I would be surprised if we see either of those things again.
It put me in the wrong state of mind. Like
I think they were in tech, and maybe we'll see that shit ironed out next time when we. But that may have been final tech. It was a little weird how the whole silhouette was like clearly facing the opposite way as Carmella was when it came down. I was like, oh, so that wasn't you? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, so what is?
That's just where
the song was kind of banging.
I think that was just the way the light was hitting it.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe I thought the same thing though. I was like, that seemed weird.
Too many moving parts.
I had to explain that one to the lady. What are you watching? I was like, hey, baby, don't worry about me. All right.
Yeah, I was with my girlfriend.
Hey, don't worry about it. Dadgummit.
Not for me.
Yeah.
So, but then they're clearly working towards a match at TLC, and then all of a sudden they just say, "No, we're gonna do it first tonight for no reason."
That's weird.
And put it in the main event.
Very weird.
And then have a schmaz finish.
Ultra
Why?
weird.
It was a schmoz finish, but you know what, JB? You said something last week about WWE can only tell one type of character
for ladies,
and that was the problem with this. And I got a little down on the match, but I actually got high on the match again because I'm like, it is about the same character, but it's about who's gonna be that bitch of this Friday night?
Right.
And like we are the same person. We are the same character. I'm that girl. You're that girl. But who's gonna be that bitch of this Friday Night SmackDown? And it's that part of the story where I was like, oh shit, I can get with this. Like they're trying to assert their dominance.
The part that I enjoyed most was actually Carmella's bad acting, and it actually worked for me because it differentiated the characters for me. Because like her whole persona came crashing down after the match was over, and she kind of went to like Bougetto for a second, and it was like, oh shit, you know what? Fuck this shit. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be classy, and I don't think she meant to do that.
She code switched
like a motherfucker, which was very
and I was like,
interesting. I don't think she meant to do that. I just don't think she can hold the character as strong when she's having an emotion. It's kind of like when you do an audition and you like really get in the scene and you forget your lines, or you remember your lines and you forget to act. Like it was one of those.
And you just got to be you.
Yeah, like one of those two happened, but it made the character different for me. It was like, oh, she's trying to be classy, but nah, you still Carmella from like, ramen noodles and whatever.
But is she classy?
No, but like I think it was like a poor person's version of classy, which bled through when she couldn't hold.
But I don't even think that her character is trying to be classy.
She has a sommelier getting her champagne.
Yeah, that's the gag. Yeah.
And that's the thing that's also weird is like that. If that is what she wants to do, and she wants to be this fancy like champagne bitch, that gear is not the same thing. Yeah.
It's S&M.
And
it's S&M. So it's like, wait, huh?
Yeah, that's that interesting. So I don't know what the design.
She should come out in like a fur.
Just break
or
out
some
the cheetah
shit,
print again. I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah, that there is some incongruency in her design and whatever character they're trying. But I don't think they have the character figured out yet. That is another thing.
Right.
They don't actually know what the character is, so there can't be incongruency. It's kind of shifting from week to week.
I'm gonna say this real quick though. WWE, y'all better be careful with these black helper segments y'all keep putting in your shows, okay?
Sommeliers are a highly respected profession.
I know they are. So are hitmen. And now we got this. We got the black sommelier, and we got fucking Omos.
Oh, that's and so good.
I don't want to see a third WWE.
Don't you do it?
Cut it short. Cut it fucking short.
Man. Hey, you gay, guy. Hey, guy, you got me.
Let's at least give him a name. Did she name him?
No. She said my sommelier.
At least give him a fucking name.
I refuse to pronounce that right. Hey, you got me on that.
Duke can bump though.
Yes, he can. She beat the shit out of him. I kind of feel bad for him.
Maybe he'll be a big deal. He's obviously a developmental guy. Maybe a few years we'll look back and remember when he was the sommelier?
Yeah, it's his MJF Samoa Joe moment.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Let's hope he gets a better story than what he's got now.
I hope so.
That's a good point, though.
Montez took his first steps as a single star.
Yes, man. You know I was. Come on now.
You the whole time.
You were thinking of me. Yeah. You were thinking of me. I know you were.
Cook, baby.
One thing I didn't like about the match, because I loved it, is that the pace was a little too slow.
Rest hold city, bro. Like so many rest.
And I was like, this is WWE style. This is Friday Night SmackDown where they're not trying to do too much with it. So this is what they have to do. But I was just like, man, I wish they could just fucking let loose if they're going to have Montez do a singles match. And he got a couple moments and it was fun.
Let's take time.
He's so quick, bro.
They take time out of a match where you could be doing some really cool shit to do some random like blue solo cup rain thing and then go to commercial right after and then come back and they're all gone. Like
I did hate that.
I
did hate that.
So like WWE.
Don't make me hate you.
And they had like 3 commercials or maybe two or 3 commercials. And I was like, this match isn't long enough to have 2 damn commercials in the middle of it.
You're so right. Don't make us hate the solo cup thing yet. Like let's not kill this yet, please.
I wish they would have sold that.
Unless they're going heel.
I wish they would have sold that for like a big win moment. I was like, why would you just randomly pull out these?
Yeah, have it like break up a pinfall or something, Like have the solo cups make the save.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Not just like, let's summon the solo cups to pop the crowd that's not here. Like, what? That's so stupid.
What the fuck?
It's like he forgot and he just went to commercial. Hey, before we go to commercial, solo cups.
Yeah, and then let's go to commercial so we can clear them out, and then back to a rest hold when they come back. Like,
No.
Both of these guys are great. And are Ziggler and Robert Roode both wearing T-shirts that say "Dirty Dogs" on them? Are they the Dirty Dogs?
Hey, maybe they're trying to get that over.
Why not just say that?
But I will say that what thing needs to be said is D'Angelo needs to lay the fuck off of the Glorious One's beard. All right?
That was weird.
No, that's the second time he done did that shit. He need to stop all that shit right now.
He said neither here nor there.
Like, he has a glorious, to use a word, beard. Me and Aaron were talking about beard technique.
Who's writing this? Who's writing that?
We all see D'Angelo patchy ass shit. So
yeah,
you're not
truly.
Yeah, you got to use.
Don't throw stones at a glass house.
I did like the Jesus and Marrow.
Jesus and Marrow, that was good. That was good.
Comparison.
Good reference.
That was amazing. I was like, dang, they made it to WWE SmackDown. Shit.
Good coming up.
Yeah, man.
But what else is what we got more Big E on SmackDown.
Yeah, baby.
Bro, when he threw his jacket at Corey Graves.
So good. So good.
I love it, man. I don't know if I'm partially confused why he's just like the same. Like he's like a solo star, like a solo person. He's getting this new personality, but he's also just like this silly motherfucker, but we're also supposed to fear him. It's a weird combination.
I think that's the story they're telling right now.
But I kind of like it, man. He's just
I think we're seeing the transition happen before our eyes.
Yeah, man. It's cool. I like the entrance. I still like the song. I know JB's not a huge fan of Wale.
I mean, Wale's fine. He's just lame as hell. he's just lame and like substandard at the art form of rapping compared to other rappers of his fame and ilk. Like the album.
Wait, is he? But is he a rapper?
He produces rap albums.
Sorry, Wale.
And that's the problem. The man that produces rap albums has a whole person going like, "Is he a rapper?"
I think I just made your point.
Yes.
I always think I like Wale more than I do because he's a wrestling fan. It's true.
Yeah. I like wrestling. I like you guys.
But he looks cool, doesn't he? Like he's a cool looking
until
dude.
You put him next to other black people and you realize, nah, not really.
Listen,
like
Wale actually
white...
ruined the Street Profits theme song when he made their entrance with him. He made it worse.
Oh, did he really?
He did.
I forgot.
He can't keep a beat.
He was trying to make up words that weren't even there. I was like, just rap the words that are in the song. That's all you need. They're there for you. But anyway.
I can't with Wale. He lame.
All right.
That's fair.
We're not high on Wale. Moving on.
Yeah, but high on Big E for sure.
Are we high on Big E?
Oh, yeah. He said, don't worry about the meat. Don't worry. You need to worry about my meat.
How'd you feel about that finish?
I felt okay about it. I'm loving what they're doing with Sami Zayn, too. I don't think it's going to last long.
I like Sami doing heel shit.
Yeah.
I like Sami doing heel shit.
It's brilliant. It made Big E look a little stupid that he chased him all the way under the ring. Like, just go to the other side or something or wait him out. But he doesn't want to lose by count out, so he's going to go get him. I get it. The thing that propelled this along for me, again, talking smack is starting to become required viewing because this is really becoming a platform.
They keep referencing it. For
Paul Heyman, who's a co-host on the show with Kayla Braxton, to put over new talent and to give them shine. And Big E was a guest, and his little segment putting over Big E was pretty awesome. And it just perfectly sets up a WrestleMania build storyline for Big E, whether it's with Roman Reigns or not. Just really planting the seeds even more and telling us, the fans, that they're going to do something with Big E. At least we hope.
Yeah.
But I recommend checking that out. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Is that they put it on network too or no?
I think it is on the network, but that specific clip with Big E and Paulie
check it out.
is there on YouTube, on the WWE YouTube channel.
I'll tell you what else I was high on. Roman Reigns showed up in a backstage scene with Heyman, and I was like, I got excited, man. I hate that I keep popping to this shit. I'm such a fucking mark. I'm so into it. I was like, man, I get to see Roman Reigns. Like, I keep like arguing with myself. Like, why are you excited about it? Him talking to Jey Uso, and he was like, just like not even looking at him. He was like, you good? You good? Family good?
How's your family?
Just like, your family good? All right, cool.
You with me?
Like, just like such a badass, man.
He had his most ruthless moments as heel Roman thus far tonight, or I mean on on the night that we're talking about, SmackDown. That shit, when he was talking to Kevin Owens' family in the camera after he attacked him, woo! I was getting little goosebumps. Like, fuck, this is getting real.
Tell your daddy.
It was so good.
Kids.
Yeah, and you don't have Michael Cole being like, he has a family. This is Christmas. So that's just like one comparison.
I will say one thing, and I was excited to see KO before this promo happened, and then he started this personification of the ladder, the table, and the chair, and I couldn't help but feel so sorry for him that he had to read these words. Ugh. Whoever fucking wrote this for him, literally, go find something else to do. I know you probably make a decent amount of money writing for WWE, but it's not for you. It's not for you, and we won't have it. We will not have it. We will not have it.
I hate you.
We do have to like defend. You have to defend the writers a little bit, because I've heard that that's like the hardest job in the world, because they probably do have good ideas, but none of them get approved. So that's the kind of shit that probably finally gets approved at the last minute, or a lot of times Vince McMahon will change it 30 seconds before they go out there.
Well,
that's
the writer we're talking about.
What's that?
If Vince McMahon's the one that changed it, then that's the writer we're talking about. Stop it.
Probably is.
If it ain't for you, stop.
True. Yeah, exactly. Now whoever wrote it,
personally responsible for that line going on TV. Just because they killed your other ideas doesn't mean you had to have that one.
You didn't have to write that one.
It's true.
So whoever made that, fuck them. like you could go out there, KO, slap your belly, and give your best memory rendition of the Hard Time speech by Dusty Rhodes. Like that's a better idea than that. So
much better.
Speaking of bad ideas,
and Mr. Table,
can we pour one out for my man Shinsuke Nakamura? It's officially over for him.
What was his line about Santa's workshop or some bullshit?
Oh, I didn't even catch that. That might have been on a quick fast forward. But I just know you take a man, you reduce him down to an entrance, and then you take the entrance. Oh. That's a wrap. That is Rap City for my man Shinsuke. See you when I see you. You got the jobber entrance.
It's another thing that Adam dude made a video on, how he would book Shinsuke Nakamura, and it was mostly sad to watch. He had pretty good ideas, but it was just like, oh god, anything would have been better than what the fuck they did.
They have too much talent.
It's horrible.
They don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, he had some line to Otis about being Santa and something like that. It was horrible. Yeah. Horrible.
What is the Chad Gable and Otis thing?
Yeah.
I think
trying something.
Chad Gable said to Otis, I wanted you not to tag me in.
It's kind of interesting. To know that. Interesting mental gymnastics
mental games,
there.
But like from Chad Gable, it's kind of the same thing as Ali. It's like, why should Otis be listening to you either?
I think that's the point with this story, is that Chad is I don't think he's supposed to be a good guy in this.
So where does this lead?
To another breakup of a tag team for heavy
eventually, yeah, it eventually leads to Otis versus Chad Gable.
Jesus,
which could be a good match. I mean, they're two legit collegiate wrestlers,
and they got history together, unlike him and Taki.
Tucky's doing great. Yep. I mean, he won a belt before Otis did. So sure did. Let's not forget.
He sure did, a champion.
Let's not forget.
Shall we jump back to Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wait, what's Tucky doing?
Nothing, brother.
He won the 24/7 championship once.
Nothing, brother. He has less belts than me.
Okay, I was confused. I was like, did I miss something?
Yes, his entire singles run.
Oh my gosh.
You went to the restroom and that was it. He got beat up by Retribution. It was a one win Ali had, and that was it.
Horrible. SmackDown I was not high on overall. It was weird.
Overall, no.
I understand if you want to give the women the main event and make the night about them, but make it make sense. And don't make Roman Reigns right now, who's obviously the fucking main event, take a back seat unless you got something good. That's just me.
And you had King Corbin and the Knights of the Lone Wolf. Shout out to Game of Thrones.
Moving on.
Because in NXT, the kitty cat is back in the hat. And what about that? Yakety yak, yakety yak. Let's go.
Speaking, I mean, they must have this. That must be the same writer.
Did Kyle O'Reilly just say Peter, Pumpkin Eater?
Yeah, I think he did.
Is that what he said? Bro, he rushed through that promo like he had something. He's like he had a car meter running.
I wonder
like,
why.
He was like, I gotta fucking go.
Oh my God.
Bro. Oh.
Yo, that shit was wild.
Him imitating Pete Dunne was fun though.
Yeah, aside from the weird lines readings and promos, that
Hey,
was
Pete
I
Dunne
thought that was a
calling
classic.
Damien a geezer.
What did you say?
Pete Dunne calling Damien a geezer.
Yeah, what is that?
It's funny as shit.
That was weird. That's weird.
funny as shit to me. Because Damien Priest is secret old. That shit's funny as fuck. And Pete's young
He
as
is
fuck.
actually.
How old
He's
is
like
he?
40. He's
like
almost 40,
40.
isn't he?
Shut the fuck
He's like
up.
secret old. It was a great dig. Such a
He
old
got
man.
in.
Damn, I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
He got into the business pretty late in his life.
I think he's
well,
like-
not late in his life, relative to other wrestlers.
Right, like
So he ends in NXT.
Yeah. Pete's like
I don't think so.
25 or 6 like this, and like he's 38 at least. He's at least.
I think
38.
I missed the joke. It went right over my head on NXT,
Shit
but that
was
is funny.
as fuck. I was like, don't do that
Geezer.
like that. He's like, you're the geezer who couldn't beat Leon Ruff, and he was like, oh.
But when you're talking about AEW having the food simmering in the kitchen for a long time, I think that and I think Arian mentioned something too about there being so many feuds teased but maybe not happening right now, but letting you know that they could. I feel like that's all that was happening on NXT on Wednesday night. Just so many feuds, both men and women, that they just teased all night long. Like, you could have this, you could have this, you could have this, you could have this, and they'd all mostly be awesome. So that's exciting.
I wish they would just do that though, but instead what they usually do is have a big 8-man big blow-up match. Do them all in one match instead of like meaningful feuds.
I'm hoping it's different this time.
I dig that.
But because the way that they did it, I mean, you thought maybe all these dudes who were coming for Finn in the opening segment are going to end up in some, 8-man tag or whatever, but they all started kind of forming their own things. Damian Priest was out there, but now Karrion Kross attacked him, so they're going to go do their thing for a while.
Not
Right.
for a while.
Maybe
That was
1 week.
strange.
For a match.
Yeah. He's going to die next week.
And
See, I hope they still make Damian look
But
good, like save him a little bit.
man, fuck Damien.
Scarlett.
Fuck
Let's
Damien.
talk about Scarlett.
Let's talk about it. I don't care what that promo was. I don't care what was said. I don't care that Young Bucks and were having a hell of a match on the other channel. When she came,
Jeez Louise.
out,
What a presence!
the presents.
My
There were
God.
2 of them.
What'd you say?
There were 2 presents.
Yes.
Yeesh.
My God, she's got some like Lady Gaga fashion going on.
Man, that when she gave us that 360, the best of men are men at best. All right, brother. She had cheeks.
I don't know how Vince McMahon hasn't stolen her yet.
Because Karrion Kross is a scary dude.
Yes, he
He's a
is.
scary man, and she got cheeks for weeks, and I wouldn't want to come near her with with Karrion Kross around.
You can do so much with that duo. They can be scary ass bad guys, or with a couple that looks as good as they do. You can make them big time good guys too.
Yeah, I think we're about to see.
You think you're right? So yeah, it looks like it's gonna be. I just hope they don't kill Damian Priest, and if they do, maybe that means he's going to Friday night or Monday night, which I think would work really well because Damian Priest has just found his groove.
Yeah, he's fine now.
He's cool as hell, and he doesn't try too hard. Pretty good on the mic. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's what happened. It's literally what he did for Dijak.
Yeah,
it didn't go so
and
well.
I'd love to see Finn and Pete Dunne. I'd love to see. We've already seen Finn and Kyle O'Reilly, so if they go triple threat with that, I'm cool with it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's good shit.
Since you said Pete Dunne, I do want to talk about that match a little bit with Killian Dane.
Yeah.
I want Pete to look more dominant.
Yeah.
I thought Killian got in a little too much offense. So maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I just think like if he's gonna be like this real heel, like I want him to look a little dominant. Not like a cheating heel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. It was one of those things that was rough because the thing we're supposed to be impressed with is like he beat a guy so much bigger than him, but they could have done that quicker. They just could have done it quicker, and it would have a bigger impact. You're 100% right.
And then it was like a Drake Maverick save. You know, like with like Lorcan and Birch coming in, like I was just confused of what they were trying to accomplish.
I think they're setting up a tag team title match with Killian Dane and Drake Maverick, which will go over very predictably.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, like that I was talking about with the Lance Archer thing. AEW finds a way to do both. Like, get the guy the heat he needs to get, the way he needs to get it, and then build the match that you need to build after that. Like, however that worked. But you're right. It was good, but it could have had a bigger impact if he had found a way to just run through Killian Dane somehow.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
It doesn't help that, like, and it could be nitpicky on my behalf, on my point, but Pete Dunne's finisher didn't look that impressive with Killian Dane. It almost seemed like it was Killian Dane's offensive maneuver to me. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that was his finisher, and that's the match. But it didn't look that impressive because Killian Dane is so huge.
It didn't go well. I think his finish looks better on Big Man, but this one didn't go well.
Yeah, maybe it was just not really that well executed.
It's like Kofi's SOS. I wish his SOS was his finisher, but he only hits it about 85% of the time. So
yeah,
I think it's so cool most of the time. But showing up at WrestleMania, that would be one of that 15% he did
whiffed.
You go ahead and get that Trouble in Paradise, bro.
Hey, Jake Atlas got another win.
They're building Jake Atlas. Here we go.
Yeah. And Swerve got a little like post-match.
He's angry.
Like angry, heel. I don't know what's going on there. It was good to see Isaiah
He should
Swerve's
be pissed
back.
because Swerve is awesome.
Yeah.
I think with Atlas, they're trying to go for like the Johnny Gargano connection, where he just goes out and wrestles a bunch of matches and we just kind of warm to him organically.
We'll see. Is it working yet?
I mean, we talked about this last week. If they would just go ahead and put it out there,
just go with it.
I would actually warm to him. I know my wife would.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
It would make his particular brand of overcoming, it would crystallize it.
Yeah.
But they're hoping for it, so. But I was going to say, you know what he needs? He needs a foil. If anything.
Yeah.
He needs a foil. Like,
we need something.
We need somebody. Maybe it's going to be Swerve. I don't think it's going to be Swerve because there's not enough there. Not enough of a reason for them to hate each other as of yet. But like somebody that really accentuates what's interesting about him will do him a world of good. Like the Tommaso to his Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We'll see if they do it because there's something missing. That seems to be right there for him. Just tell the story that's right there.
Yep.
Speaking of Tommaso, I liked him getting that win on Cameron Grimes, and I think I'm finally starting to get what you guys are talking about with Cameron Grimes.
Not done yet. Oh, with Cameron Grimes.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about
Timothy. And that was cool. Like, so one thing I liked about how they played this match was I was fearing they were going to talk about like Tommaso. I thought he was going to lose the match, but I was like thinking the whole time, I was like, he's a fucking veteran. Like, he can finish this match and not get distracted and then go handle his business. And that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
I was so excited that they did that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I was excited that they're not done with Thatcher and Ciampa. Let's keep it going.
He's going to need his credibility back because he's hemorrhaging it.
What'd you say?
He's going to need the credibility back, so I hope he gets this win.
Thatcher's he needs the win.
If he doesn't, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, truly. They can't mess that up.
But next week he'll probably be wrestling Cameron Grimes because he took him out.
But that was fun. I like.
I told you he's a good guy. He's taking out the bad guys. He's good.
But no, I like Cameron Grimes too. I was like, man, yeah, he is such a heel. I'm like starting to get what you guys are talking about.
Come on, he's
a
the
perfect
best.
chicken shit heel. He'll probably steal the North American title at some point and hold it for an aggravating amount of time. A la Sami Zayn.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, imagine like Sami Zayn's chicken shit hits stuff on him.
Yes.
Yeah. Or MJF bragging about his clean wins. It's that kind of shit.
Yes.
Exactly.
We had a rare triple threat tag team match. That's going to be some fun. What do you think of the Grizzled Young Veterans?
I like them so far.
They're very much in the mold of FTR. They are just some strong ass workhorses.
Yeah, I just think they're vicious dudes. They're legit.
There was a weird moment in this match though where Everrise made a cover, and then like got up at one and then like taunted the main cam. Did you guys see that?
I missed it.
I don't remember.
I don't remember
it was so weird. I was like, it seemed like it was like a botch, and they forgot that they like needed to.
They
like,
are weird.
A timeout or something. I don't know. But it was fun to see like a triple threat tag team match because we don't get to see a lot of those, and I feel like NXT always does those pretty well.
Yeah, NXT's tag team division's nothing to sneeze at either. It's not it's not AEW, but it's nothing to sneeze at.
No, and I like Grizzly Young veteran so far.
But the women on NXT are the best in the business.
EO, bro. EO,
everybody. Tony.
Raquel Star is rising, bro. I don't know what Ember is, but she looks great. She's doing awesome.
Yeah. I need honing in on the Ember Moon character would be great, but the story they told about putting over the Eclipse all night long, and then Raquel Gonzalez just saying, "Nope, you're not doing it on me." That I popped for. That was a follow through that I enjoyed.
That's awesome.
Doing some cool stuff, and they got and what I love about NXT's just the athleticism that's available to them.
Yeah,
just the even if they get the characters right in AEW, which they're fully capable of over time, like you might not have the horses that WWE has. Like, that's some stuff,
top to bottom, top to bottom.
Like I hear they just signed. I don't know her name, but they just signed literally the most accomplished athlete they've ever had in women's professional wrestling. Like she played and that's mostly just promoter jargon. But she did make it to the WNBA. They had an athlete capable of making it to the WNBA who's now going to be training to be a wrestler.
Right on.
Damn.
Yeah, and most of the people that train wrestling don't have that level of athleticism coming into it.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. True that. Because they even put over Bianca Belair. I think she was like a NCAA like Division II or something like that champion, but
not pro.
She wasn't almost a pro WNBA player.
Exactly, like that's even to that's the difference.
That's different.
That's the difference.
That's a gap. That's a gap.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully she takes to wrestling, but that's what WWE will always be capable of.
Having the best talent in the world and not really knowing how to utilize it.
Fuck you over easy.
Xia Li Boa.
What?
Xia Li Boa?
Yeah, it seems that they're just kind of treading water. They're just getting tortured again, and we don't know who this mysterious lady is, but I'm here for it. I like the mystery.
Is it? I want to know so bad.
That's the simmer.
We'll see.
Keep that one simmer until it's ready.
Yeah, keep it simmering.
Don't do it too long, though.
So
if you do it too long and frequently, like if you're gonna do it long, take it off TV. Like it's not every week we're getting something.
No, fair enough. Like if it's gonna be a while, do it every other week, but it still can't be too long because you don't want to be the hacker about it, where people are like, all right, this motherfucker ain't never going
when you start overexposing things that are cool, that's WWE's worst thing. It's like, I'm glad Pat McAfee was not on this show. Like he's a great talker, but if he just does a 20-minute promo every week, I'm gonna get tired of it.
That was my initial problem.
The Seth Rollins effect.
Like I loved his stuff, but he just
a perfect example.
It's just like I don't want to hear it every week. What do you think about The Way?
The Way?
Yeah, Gargano.
Is that their thing?
Yeah.
Oh, is that their name?
We are The Way. They need to work on
I think
the
that's
tagline.
That's a fastball song.
Well, now I hate it.
That is a great song. If they start coming out to the Way by Fastball as their theme song, I'm here for it.
Speedy recovery to Candace.
Yeah, Speedy. She's got her. Maybe they can milk that for longer and do something. But she won't be wrestling. She'll have to have Indy doing her work for her.
Yeah, it's a good time to get some heat on her.
Yeah, and we'll see how. I feel like I'm the only person in the world who loves All Day. My guy, no, I can't even think of his name because I'm high. Austin Theory. I just love that guy, but no one else. I feel like I'm the only one in the world, and he's not. He just seems bored in this. But we missed at the end of when he revealed himself on the pay-per-view how he did it. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. Austin.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
That was really good. That went over my head.
WWE put that over on their Instagram. They
went right over my head when we watched
it. With Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And was it the Ministry of Darkness?
Yep. It was me, Austin. That was great, but I missed it.
Okay, now here's a fantastic example, okay? Let's see how they counter, they grow these two fairly generic, in my mind, but talented stars. Sammy Guevara, Austin Theory. They're in groups that fundamentally aren't about them, and are about preparing them up for something else later down the line. So, I have so much faith in AEW to take care of Sammy Guevara, put him in good spots, not overexpose him. Like, I have such faith in that. I'm so worried for Austin Theory.
Agreed.
Because I want to see what you see him. I want to be excited about a young, talented kid who can do everything right. But it's just like, well, what are they going to do with that young, talented kid that does everything right?
Yeah.
Well, he can't go to WWE.
You know,
he's got to stay. I mean, he can't go to the main roster. He's got to stay in NXT.
I mean, but
we'll see. I mean, Gargano's killing it.
Yeah,
but I don't know if this isn't the best way for Austin Theory to succeed.
I mean, but it could be,
unless they build him up as a babyface. You know, Johnny picks on him and picks on him and picks on him until finally we get to see him get his comeuppance and Austin Theory gets his payback. But I don't see it happening.
Or I think he could do the thing that could work is just have some time. Let this faction sit. Give us some time to establish what we would ever like about Austin Theory. That's what works so well about the Inner Circle. We got time to sit with Sammy. Like, what do we even like about this guy? He's kind of athletic like Jungle Boy. He's kind of like an asshole Jungle Boy. He's kind of like an asshole Jungle Boy who's kind of slick. Like, okay, there are some things there. Now we can run with it.
Yeah, got a little Eddie to him.
Yeah,
he's a little Lothario in him.
Yeah, put those all together. But yeah,
So there's lots of possibilities on NXT. That's what I liked about the show, as sort of a reset after a pay-per-view. Lots of working parts, and we'll see where they go. But overall, it was I was more down on this week in wrestling as a whole.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because, like you said, we came off of big things like Sting and shit, and we got to cool down a little bit. This is traditionally what WWE does as they ramp up to Royal Rumble. You know, it'll be slow down a little bit, and then Rumble on to Mania. We're all steam ahead.
Yeah, we're about to be in Christmas when fucking nothing's happening.
Yep.
True that. We're probably due for one of those bad Christmas Raws and SmackDowns where someone gets put through some presents.
Well, I think I already read that they're gonna pre-tape the Christmas content, so it's not even gonna be live. So it's probably gonna be real bad. Yeah, Otis will be dressed as Santa Claus. Just prepare yourselves.
I kind of like some of those segments. They did announce they did announce a new NXT pay-per-view.
Is that New Year's Evil?
Yeah,
happening on January 6th.
Yeah. So I was like, that sounds fun. Yeah, I don't know.
I was hoping it'd be on New Year's Eve. I
know, that would be cool.
And I have no plans, so I would like to watch wrestling.
No one can go anywhere. So it's
exactly.
Like,
but anyway, that was the week in wrestling, and Over Easy has to take a piss really bad.
Did you see I just ran to the bathroom?
Dude, I didn't even see it. No. Like I said last week, I can't look at you guys during this because if I keep the video on, it'll freeze my audio stream, so I always have to minimize the video.
Oh, word.
Bro, yeah, I just I ran to the
I didn't even notice.
You only got no bladder control.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys killed it. I'm so glad you didn't ask me a question.
I think
would have been radio silence.
I covered for you. I kept the ball going. I was like, we just disappeared.
You did.
Like
I didn't even notice. That was smooth as shit.
Dip mode.
I'm glad to know that. Thanks.
No, it's official that every week we're going longer and longer. So truly. I hope people like the deep dives, or maybe we'll figure out an outline and keep it moving faster. But anyway, we like talking to each other, so that's really what we're doing it for right now. This is
the most we get to talk to people about wrestling in a week.
But we are out there. We're on pretty much anywhere you want to listen to podcasts. And I know we're tracking on the Anchor app. There's at least 11 to 20 people listening per episode.
We love you.
So if you're out there and you're listening to this, I saw one was in Italy or something. That's pretty cool. France, yeah, right? So if you're listening, go subscribe, like us on Apple Podcasts, all that shit. On Twitter, we are at 420 Wrestle Hour. 420 Wrestle Hour. Yeah.
We in some talks to get some live streaming things together so you can see our beautiful faces.
Yeah. Also, if anyone has any
help us,
if anyone wants to help us with figuring out how to live stream, we really want to live stream some reactions. If you can hit us up and like send us a direct message on Twitter or something, we can like link emails. Like, we need some instructions.
Pretend you're talking to people that don't really understand how Twitch works, and then don't pretend.
Exactly. That's a perfect.
And then
direction.
do.
Well, that's gonna cash this bowl on this episode of the 420 Wrestling Hour for the Canary Arium for God, I was going to call you the Calf Man. You had a new one tonight. What was it? Oh yeah, the Impact Man.
Because I watch Impact.
He's going to be bringing you Impact exclusive content.
Yeah, Chris
JB
Bay.
Bad.
You a champion. Come on, Chris Bay. You can take Rich Swann.
Let's go out of the, Impact was kind of shitty, but I'll smoke at the end of the 420 Wrestling Hour for Chris Bay. I like that guy a lot.
Yeah, baby. Bet reviews coming to you since the Obama presidency. Watching a man grow up and attain his dreams. You go ahead, boy.
That's right. Hey, tune in next week on the 420 Wrestling Hour. It's been fun getting high on wrestling, and happy holidays to you. Peace.
Take it easy.
Peace.